A warm welcome to a crash course on SQL basics for new developers to help you create nice database applications or monitor the databases on various tools. We will learn what is SQL and why we need to learn SQL, then what are the tools through which we can run SQL queries, then what are the SQL queries, the components of a SQL query like create, insert, select, and then finally, we will see how the SQL queries can be written in a programming language like PHP and useful in a web application. Before you begin, make sure you can hear me and see the screen and have some water by your side. I am assuming you are a aspiring web developer or an administrator wanting to learn SQL and brand new to SQL. Now, why are we learning about SQL? SQL is here to stay for a long time. Database or information plays a very important role and it is there for a very long time. So, no matter what programming language keeps coming and whatever technology is coming and going, SQL is standing the test of time. And the concepts that you are going to learn in this course can be useful for many new programming languages, also any other tool which may come and go. But the underlying concept, the SQL query, is going to be the same. There are few queries which you need to understand, and that is fundamental concepts are going to be the same, and hence this course has been done. This is me, Thangu or Thangeshwari. I'm a lover, learner, trainer, consultant on Microsoft technologies like SharePoint and PowerShell. I've been consulting since 2006, and Microsoft technologies has been my bread and butter since 2006. I love watching cartoons and movies during free time, and you can reach out to me on thangu.com for any queries. So, though my focus is on SharePoint, so as a trainer, I keep getting a lot of requests from freshers or those who are new to the corporate world. And hence, I decided to make this course because SQL is pretty much fundamental. Even the advanced tools like SharePoint, behind the scenes, they run on SQL Server. So, SQL Server is definitely here to stay for a long time. And you really don't have to worry that that's going to be replaced by something. So, SQL is a very nice technology, it's very interesting. I personally have worked in very complex stored procedures on SQL and it's very interesting. So, but this course will be a basic course on SQL concepts. What are we going to learn? We will learn what is SQL, why SQL, what are the installation or the tools needed for you to practice the demo shown here. Then what are the components of SQL or the SQL queries, the various SQL queries. Then finally, we will look at how to run the queries in SQL as well as MySQL using PHP admin. Now, how are these things applied in the real world? We can see a sample real world application using PHP. So how a SQL is used in a PHP website, we can see that and understand how SQL is extremely useful not just for a database administrator but even for a web developer. Now why we need to have SQL? See, mere data is not enough. We have tons and tons of data, lots of information, and you use Google search every day to find something. So if you take the case of a house, a mere house is not enough. So a house needs to have there should be some people, and you need to have people who really care for you and nice things you love and garden, and that makes it a home. So SQL really breathes life into the database. So database is nothing but collection of data. It's just a chunk of data. But with the help of SQL, you can just get the data you want, modify the data and find data very easily. It is similar to a language like English or any language through which you can find out what you want. So there are lots of information and using the language of your choice, you try to search. Similarly, SQL is the is the query language, programming language through which you can access the database, be that it is in Oracle or MS Access or any source. Now, what is SQL? The expansion is structured query language. In my words, I would personally say it is a very simple, powerful language to handle data. Make sure that you pronounce the SQL as SQL, SEQUEL, SQL. So SQL is technically a standard language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving data in databases. Where is the data stored? See, for English language, for that language, it's used in books, blogs, in your conversations, etc. Similarly, the SQL language can be used in MySQL Server or SQL Server from Microsoft or Microsoft Access or Sybase, Oracle, or many database systems. But the SQL query is common. Sometimes it might vary a little bit, but overall, SQL is the programming language which can be used to access the data from various databases. So during the 1970s, Donald Chamberlain and Raymond F. Boyce from IBM created this SQL. It was derived from the TCOR Relationship Database Management System model. Now, what is this relational database management system? It is nothing but a database system which is a collection of tables, and the tables are related to each other. So each table is a collection of row and columns. So assume there are students or clients and you want to store those details. You can happily store them in a table structure. If you understand Excel, when you see open up Excel, you have rows and columns. Similarly, a table is nothing but a collection of rows or collection of records, and each row has a metadata or column like student ID, student name. Another example can be a car. So car can have a car ID, the engine model, the color. So you get the objects and you store that in this format. This is called relationship database management system. So what is a database? Database is nothing but data structured or grouped together, and the collection of tables are grouped together in one database. So for example, for a university, you can have a collection of students and the subject data tables. And for a car company, you can have a collection of car and engine tables. So relationship is done through some key mappings. So what are the common actions? The common actions are CRUD or database, tables, views, rows or records. Also, we can write many stored procedures and you can do backup, you can do the permission management, but we'll not be focusing on all of them. I'll be just showing a demo, but we'll be focusing on the SQL queries in this course. So we have advanced concepts like primary key, unique key, and foreign key also. So primary key is nothing but unique values in a table and they can never be null. Unique, and if the value is unique and if you are allowing the value to be a null, that is called unique key. Foreign key will connect two tables from a parent table. For example, if you have student and subjects, so it's a primary key in another table, that is called foreign key. So let's get started by seeing the demos to understand the SQL concept. So data is stored as zeros and ones inside a computer, and we read the English data. So meaningful data for us is through the help of softwares. Now imagine we are working on Microsoft SQL Server. So how do we actually launch the Management Studio? So there are tools through which we can access the uh, tool products like SQL Server or any other server. So first you need to have, it's good if you have Windows Server and then have the SQL Server installed, and then we'll be launching this particular SQL Server Management Studio. So if it's MySQL, that also has a Management Studio through which you can connect with some credentials and we can work on that. So mostly we have a server or a computer where SQL is installed, and it has a collection of databases. So it has various databases. For example, you have AdventureWorks database, report server database which contains the reports, and it's nothing but a collection of tables. So you have various tables here. So there are many tables and you can, each table has a set of columns. So if I look at the design, so if I just look at this particular table, it has various columns. So you'd have a column like order quantity, product ID, and special offer ID. And we have also keys. So most of the times the ID is the primary key. So we have the primary key. So you have a primary key here, and also the, so sometimes we can have constraints also, which can tell you, okay, if you have an age column, we can have constraints saying the age cannot be less than 18 to stop kids from using your product. Next, we have advanced concepts like triggers or indexes, and which index will help the table to be searched fast and all by search server. So you can have an index, and then you have various other concepts. But for now, overall, you just understand that a table has a set of columns. So that is more than enough. So, and it has a set of values also. So suppose if I want to view the table, so if I want to view all the values of the table, so we actually need to run the query. So I can simply say select star from table name, and you look at this, there are lots of, each table has the columns like order quantity, product ID, special offer ID, order ID, and local ID. So order ID is, so these are all the IDs which are referring to a different table. With the help of the database diagrams, you can actually have a nice view of the various objects inside the database. So as a technical architect, I mainly use these kind of diagrams to really represent the real world objects in the computer format so that the developers can code easily by understanding the technical document. And next, we look at how to run queries. So any SQL Server engine should let you run a query. So let's start this new query, and I should be able to run a new query. So let's say select star from person dot person. And when I run this, I can select this and select execute. So it shows all the values. And for example, if you want to select the people starting with K, first name starting with K, then I can just say where first name like K percentage. So these are SQL queries, and you see lots of results for people starting with K. So it's extremely powerful. I have many friends who are actually working on SQL, and it really have to think a lot, and it's very interesting. And in the real world, you might be writing stored procedures. So you might be you might be writing huge scripts with many lines. If you want to have, you might have to put comment if needed. So here is a query with few lines of code where I'm declaring a variable, setting the variable, and then selecting the values where first name like belonging to the variable. So you really don't have to worry about these kind of queries. We'll be just focusing on running a select query or create query and insert query to modify the values from a table. So you can actually create a table. Let's create a table, and also we can create a new database also. So we can create a database without knowing code. So even if you don't know code, if you have a management studio, you can actually create a new database. And whenever you create a database in SQL Server, it has a log database also, and you can just select the other options based on your needs. And for now, we just add this. So this will actually, now let me just create this, and I'll just select oh, you don't need to select owner and all. For now, let's just create a simple demo thing. Now we have created a new database demo thango, and then we can start by creating a new table. So if you look at this, it has some system tables. Every database has some system tables, hidden tables if needed. So now we'll start by creating a new table. Let's say I'm going to create a new table called students, and let me give a column name as ID, student ID, and so there are various data types available, text, numeric, varchar. So based on your needs, when you're doing the database design, you really need to think of what is the data type. Mostly it should be integer, and then the student name. So we can give a nice name And also that mostly it can be varchar, or just say if you want to put a limit to the student name, you can just give nchar of 10, or you can use the varchar of 50. So similarly, you can have a different kind of data like location, where we are just going to give varchar of 50, and you can have the option to allow null or not. And this is a simple table created. Make sure you follow a good schema like dbo.students, or if your company is Tangu, you can use dbo.tangu.students. So that's a good naming convention. So now the table is created, and once it is created, we can actually start running the queries on the table. So right now, if we look at this table, now if I just view the students, right now it's empty. Now I'm just inserting some values using the insert query. And now if I select the values, I can see that there is a student Alice. We will look at the queries in detail later on the various queries available. So let's look at some of the other features available. So we have other database like security. So security database contains the details of the various accounts which have access to the database. So you have a master database most of the times, and these are the system accounts which mostly have the access to the database. And this is a famous reusable login name for most Microsoft SQL servers. They use the SA account mostly, and and then you can connect. So make sure that you know the server name and the connection user ID, admin user ID, who can connect to the database. And also there are various other features available like taking a database backup if needed. So these are the system databases like master model and all that. And if you want to take a backup of a database, you have the option to take a backup also, where I just said right click and select task. I can do backup, I can do restore, and there are so many other options. I can even import and export data and do PowerShell queries. So database is heavily used in many organizations and it's extremely powerful. And I personally have worked with Microsoft SQL Server, and for my website, I'm using MySQL. So let's move on to the MySQL database server to understand the SQL. So this is a sample PHP admin console for my MySQL, where I have a website tango.com, and the database is running on MySQL. And I don't have a tool like SQL Server Management Studio. It is a nice PHP tool which is helping me to select the values from the table. So for example, I want to see all the values from the table. I just have to run this query select star from students, and I should be able to see the values. For example, here there are these many students. And if I want to update, I can just click update and I should be able to I can update without knowing the programming language also. See now the CC1 is updated without knowing the SQL queries also. Now, if I want to delete an item, I can just select the item and select delete and look at the query delete from students where ID equal to 1, and it is deleted. So it is pretty straightforward. We can actually insert and also and look at the data type. So we have the data type as int, varchar, and you have the import and export operations, and you can rename the students, and you can do other things. You can drop the table, you can add auto increment value. So there are various options available. So you have listened to a lot and seen a lot on SQL query language. So what do you think is SQL? Is it structured query language, or a simple code, or a simple quota, or it means nothing? The answer is structured query language. As a quick summary, we got started with why we need to understand SQL, what is SQL. We also had a look at relational database management system, what is table, what is database, and we also saw in action various SQL queries and the management studio of Microsoft SQL Server, and also how to add items to a table or delete items from a table on a live PHP website using the my PHP admin console for a MySQL Server.